All the guns you'll be seeing today are available on solware.co.uk, based in Tamworth. Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be doing some pellet testing. As you know, JSB have been good enough to supply us with a range of their pellets, so I thought it was about time we put this range of pellets through its paces in our champion gun at the moment, which of course is our Air Arms S510 Ultimate Sporter. Now, what pellets are we using? Well, we've got in our first one the standard exact Diablo 8.44 grain in 177. We also have here to test the exact Diablo heavies. These are in 10.34 grains. Pellet 3 is the Express Diablos. These are slightly lighter. These are 7.87 grains. They're the Expresses. And then we have another one here which is still rather light. It's the RS Diablo Exact, and they're 7.33 grain. So I think they're just slightly lighter than the Expresses. But they're in 177 as well. And our final one, which is always really one that does quite well whenever we do any testing, it's Hades, the 177 Hades, and the grainage on those is 10.34. Now, how will we work this? If you watch the channel quite regularly, you'll know that how we do our pellet testing is I put a target 23 metres away down the guard in there, and what we do is there's 5 small targets on there. I take 5 shots with each pellet and see which ones group the best. The 2 that group the best is the 2 I take through to the final and have a 10-shot shootout with to decide which one's the best. Now, as I've said, we're going to be using our Air Arms Ultimate Sporter for this test. Now, at the moment, that gun is set up with the JTS dead centres, which have been a fantastic pellet. I've used it out on permission. It's took a fair few squirrels, it's took a fair few birds. So, obviously, being as we've got the complete range now of the JSB Diablo Match Series in, I think it's about time we put it through its paces, the Air Arms Sporter, and see whether there's any of the JSB, shall we say, complete range here, which can outdo the JTS dead centres. Now, a lot of you out there will probably have an S510, and will probably be using JSBs or even Air Arms pellets in it. But this is just a test today to see whether we can outdo the JTSs that we do have matched with our great range here of JSBs. Well, all the talking's done. You know how this is going to work. Let's get it out there and let's see how this goes. Right, our first pellet is loaded. We are using the first one, which is the exact Diablo pellet, which is the 8.44 grains, the pretty standard one. I'll just bring the tin forward there so you can see. Okay then, let's have a see how this goes. First 5 shots. Just need to tune our scope in a bit. There we go. Top left corner. I've used this because the Ultimate Sporter is not really a pellet fussy gun. Wow, doing a nice group with these. Yeah, that's a lovely group, and that's our first pellet tried out, which is our normal exact Diablos. These are the exact heavies now we're moving to. 5 shots with these. Right, let's see how they go. These are heavier pellets altogether. These are 10.84 if I remember right. I will check before I state that to you. and that's the 5th one of those in. Right, put the lid back on there. I'll bring this forward to show you the exact ones. These are 10.34 grain actually. Hope that zoomed in good enough for you there. Right, let's have a see how good these ones are. Top right corner. They did quite well as well. I didn't see any difference in accuracy between the heavies and the normal exacts there, but that's 2 pellets tested. Now we're moving on to our next pellet in the JSB range, which is the Express. Now all these pellets of course are 177. So 5 now with the Expresses. These are the lighter ones. These are only just over 7 grains. So you can feel a lot difference in these. That's 5 of those in. These will be towards our centre target now. Let's see how these goes. Again, nice group. Didn't really change much. I mean, they're all shooting a little bit lower than what the JTSs do, but they're livable with. You know, you could tune her in probably with a couple of turns of the scope 0 dial and get it somewhere near. Next we're going to an even lighter one now. We're going to the RS Diablo. These are, let me just check on, 7.33 grains. Now, again, slightly smaller pellet, even still. I'm looking at the ones that I've already shot, and I think that probably the standard 844 grain standard Diablos have come out the best so far, closely followed by the heavies. Bottom left hand corner for these, here we go. Well, 5 there, straight into the bullseye with the RSs, which I think they're more or less closer to the JTS, which this gun is tuned out for. So they're probably closer to the weight, and that's why they've done as well as they have. But again, lovely group. Now down to the last one, which is a bit of a favourite of mine, I've got to admit. I do love the Hades, I think they're a great pellet. But let's see how they can do. These will be into the bottom right hand corner of our target set. I'm expecting these will go a little bit lower because they're a heavier pellet, but we'll see. I'm not counting anything done until it's done. So here we go then, the Hades, bottom right corner. Well, again, lovely grouping. All 5 pellets have worked really well with the gun. I'm going to go and take a closer look. I'm going to go and see which 2 actually got the smaller bunch in there, and I'll come back and give you some results in a moment. Well, after checking the card over, I thought that the standard exacts and the exact heavies were the 2 that got the closest grouping together. So I'm going to put them in a 10-shot shootout against each other. I'll put 2 standard cards up the garden there, 23 metres away. Let's see how they go. Here is just the standard exact Diablos into the left-hand card. A nice group. 10 shots, not a massive hole at all there, so they have done really, really well. So yeah, quite happy with that, how the exacts have come out. But can the heavies now beat it? Well, if you can bear with me just for a few moments while I set up the heavies. I've only got one magazine available today, sadly, for the S510. But luckily enough, the magazine does load pretty quickly. It's not really a fussy magazine to do, so we should be up and running in the matter of this minute. Maybe it. Now one more. There we go. Okay then, let's load that into our S510. There we go. 10 shots now into our right hand target with the heavies. And last one. Well, I'm taking a look at the 2 targets there. I would say the heavies has won that. I'll just make sure there's not one left for the heavies, just in case I've undercounted now. That was it. So yeah, our winner out of the JSB selection of pellets has been the heavies. Now, the next question is, can the JSB heavies beat the JTSs? Shall we get set up for that and see? Okay, then I've got the gun set up with the JTS dead centres, which is its original pellet that we set it up with, and I've got another magazine set up there with the exact heavies. Shall we see who can come off the best? Let's get these. This is the original pellet that's matched to the gun, the JTS dead centres. Let's see how this goes. think that's its last one, but every one has landed in the 10. Not a bad set of 10 at all those, so the exact heavies. Got a lot to live up to here, but they've come out the best in tests, so let's see what they can do. The last one for the heavies. Well, that is mighty close, isn't it? I've just took a look down the scope. If you'll excuse for a minute, I am going to take a look at it a bit closer up to see what it looks like. Well, that was mighty close. Having took a look and matched them over each other, I would say that probably the heavies have got the smaller hole. If I sort of matched them over one another that way, the heavies would fit inside the other one behind it. You can see there's nothing there at all. So the heavies probably did win that, and it has just gone to prove that either of these pellets you could use in this gun quite easily. But if you wanted a bit more hitting power, obviously you'd put the heavies in because they've got the slightly heavier grain. So what I may do now with this gun is, I know the heavies are just as accurate as the JTSs I've been using. I will set this gun up with the heavies and obviously see where we go from there. But a bit of a victory there, I think, for the JSB Diablo series of pellets, because every one of them did a lovely bunch when we first tested out. The grouping was lovely on them. But there's two there that stood out just for the closeness of the groups, and that was the standard exacts and the exact heavies. The lighter ones, the expresses and the RSs, wasn't so close, and the Hades was a bit of a shock. I expected them to be a bit better than that, but they wasn't quite there. But all guns do suit a pellet different, so they may come in with another gun that we have in yet. But yeah, our victor from that test there, I think today, is the JSB heavies. Well done to those, and they will be swapped over now and made to use in this gun. Thank you all for watching. Hope it's been enjoyable for you. See you all soon. Bye bye.